7:52 a.m. The vault door at Meridian National Bank's central branch swings open on schedule. 2 guards step inside. They do not know 6 men are already waiting. The men wear guard uniforms, real ones, stolen 3 weeks earlier from a warehouse 40 miles away. Nobody has reported them missing. One man raises a pistol. He does not shout. He says 4 words: down, now. Quiet. The guards comply. Somewhere above them, a silent alarm sits dead. It was disabled at 3:14 a.m. by a man who worked maintenance shifts for 11 years and knew exactly which wire to cut. By 8:31 a.m., the vault is empty. $41 million in currency, bonds, and gold certificates gone. The men are gone too. Out a service exit that isn't on any blueprint filed with the city. Total time inside the bank: 39 minutes. This is not a story about 6 men. This is a story about a bank that thought it was unrobbable. A security system built to stop amateurs, and the 4 people who noticed something was wrong 3 months before anyone believed them. Meridian National sits in Calderon, a mid-sized industrial capital with a reputation for financial stability. In 2014, its central branch holds one of the largest civilian vault reserves in the country. The building has 3 redundant alarm systems. It has biometric vault access. It has armed guards on 12-hour rotations. Bank officials call it, in internal memos later obtained by investigators, functionally impenetrable. That phrase becomes important later. The planning takes 14 months. Investigators reconstruct this timeline slowly, piecing it together from receipts, phone records, and one surviving member's testimony. The crew is not a gang in the traditional sense. 4 of the 6 have no criminal record. 1 is a locksmith. 1 is a former bank employee, fired 18 months earlier for what personnel records call performance issues. He knows the floor plan. He knows the guard rotation. He knows that the 3rd Tuesday of every month, the vault opens 7 minutes early for a scheduled cash delivery, and that those 7 minutes are the only gap in the system. Here's the early question: how did they get past the biometric lock? That detail stays unclear for 3 years. Investigators know the vault opened. They don't know how. 2014. The crew begins surveillance. Not cameras, not wiretaps, just watching. Coffee shop across the street, rotating faces, rotating cars. They log guard shift changes for 4 months. They note that Supervisor Daniel Reyes, 17 years at the bank, takes a smoke break at 7:45 a.m. every day without exception. That break becomes the 7-minute window. June 2014. The maintenance man, later identified in court documents only as Employee C due to a plea agreement, is recruited. He still has an old access badge. Nobody has deactivated it. This is the first systemic failure. Meridian National's badge deactivation policy requires a supervisor's written sign-off, and the paperwork for departed staff routinely takes 6 to 8 weeks to process. Employee C's badge stays active for 5 months after his termination. By September 2014, the crew has a working model of the vault's access sequence. The locksmith, going by Marcus in later testimony, spends 3 weeks studying a decommissioned unit from the same manufacturer, purchased legally at a bankruptcy auction 2 states away. He learns the biometric reader has a manufacturer's override, a maintenance backdoor installed for technicians, never disclosed to the bank's own security team. This is the second failure. The vault company built a bank-breaking flaw into its own product and didn't tell the client. December 9th, 2014, the morning of the heist. 7:44 a.m. Reyes steps outside for his cigarette. 7:46 a.m. Employee C's old badge opens the maintenance corridor. 7:49 a.m. The silent alarm is cut. 7:52 a.m. 6 men, dressed as guards, enter the vault antechamber. 8:02 a.m. The manufacturer's override opens the primary lock. No biometric match required. 8:04 a.m. to 8:29 a.m. Currency, bonds, and gold certificates are loaded into 2 vehicles parked in a service alley. 8:31 a.m. The crew exits. Reyes returns from his break 4 minutes later and finds 2 guards bound on the vault floor. The first police unit arrives at 8:47 a.m. By then, the vehicles are gone, later found abandoned 90 miles north. Here's where the story usually ends, in most accounts. It doesn't end there. 3 years later, in 2017, one member of the crew, the locksmith, is arrested on an unrelated fraud charge in a different city. Under questioning, he begins talking. This is how investigators finally answer the early question: the manufacturer's override. It takes 3 years because nobody at Meridian National had ever tested for it. Their security audits, conducted annually by an outside firm, checked whether the biometric system worked. They never checked whether it could be bypassed entirely. This detail triggers a federal review. Regulators discover that the same vault manufacturer sold identical systems, with the identical override, to 63 other financial institutions across the country. None of them knew. By 2018, hearings are held. A financial oversight official, we'll call her Director Ellen Boss, testifying before a legislative committee, and states that the case exposes what she calls a structural blind spot in third-party vendor accountability. Banks audit their own staff obsessively. They rarely audit the hardware they buy from outside contractors, and they almost never demand disclosure of manufacturer-level access points. $41 million moved through a door nobody at the bank was told existed. The human cost is quieter than the number suggests. Reyes, the supervisor, is suspended pending investigation, then cleared of wrongdoing 8 months later. He does not return to banking. In a brief statement to local press, he says only that he replays that 7 minutes more than anyone should have to replay anything. 2 guards who were bound during the robbery both leave the industry within 18 months. Neither is physically harmed. Both describe in later interviews a persistent unease around vault rooms that neither anticipated and neither fully recovers from. Of the 6 men, 4 are eventually convicted. Sentences range from 9 to 22 years. Employee C, who cooperated early, receives 4 years. 2 men are never identified. Roughly $26 million is never recovered. Reforms follow slowly. By 2019, Calderon's financial regulator mandates that all vault manufacturers disclose maintenance overrides to client institutions and to auditors. Badge deactivation windows are capped at 48 hours by industry standard, down from the 6 to 8 week average common before 2014. Meridian National installs a 4th independent alarm layer with no connection to any single vendor's proprietary system. None of this answers the harder question. The lock worked exactly as its manufacturer designed it, quietly. For technicians, for convenience. The failure wasn't a broken system. It was a system that worked precisely as intended, for the wrong person, at the wrong moment. Somewhere, in vaults nobody has tested yet, there may be another door like that one. Nobody knows, until someone opens